Tyler, here we are, mate. We're at a Memorial Day, and our condolences go out to Ron Whelan and his family. Unfortunately, we're here for the passing of Ron, and as a tribute, as a car day, he's done a lot for the car community.
He has.
Yeah,
and
so
you can just tell that. Well, look at how many cars are here. Look at how many people.
It's absolutely massive, isn't it?
Mm.
And I don't know what to say. I think it's just great to see the car communities come out for this and just to pay tribute to what he's done. He's been the co-founder of many of the clubs on the Gold Coast. He's done so much for over the time for the surface, Paradise drag racing, Willowbank drag racing, all over Australia in the car community. He's been part of it, and it's just our respect goes to Ron.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're here though, we'll have a chat to some of the people and about their cars, because I know that's definitely what he'd want to know and hear about today as well.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? What do you want to go check out?
Oh, maybe Handful.
You want to see Handful?
Yeah, it's looking a little bit different today. A little bit different to how we usually see it.
Well, because it doesn't have a massive blower hanging out the bonnet?
Yeah.
It's on street duties, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's get out there and have a chat to a few people and check out some cars.
Yeah, let's do it.
You can see the crowd here. Everyone's here to pay their tributes to Ron, and he's done a lot for the car community. And you can just see by the amount of people that have turned out here today for this. Chris, mate, you're here today. Now, this car, I believe, was actually built by Ron Whelan?
Yeah, back in the 70s, Dad had a service station at Mermaid Beach called the Ampol at Mermaid Beach. That's why he's got the mural. When Dad started building the car, Ron lived across the road. He originally painted the car originally, helped my dad with the building and restoring it. The car actually came out of an old farm chook shed from West Burleigh, and Ron helped Dad build the car. He did it, and another chap by the name of Ray Sparks did the original mural on it, the Ampol's Mermaid. And he's a bit upset with me at the moment because it's got a decal of the Ampol's Mermaid on it, so he reckons he's going to repaint it originally with the airbrush mural of the car. But no, Ron had a big part of this car. He was a good mate of my dad's. Like I said, I grew up as a kid straight across the road from his house. Many stories have happened over there.
I believe you might have had your first accident at his place. Was that what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to make you admit to that now.
Yeah, I am. I was 16 years old, and it was at the end of an Ampol series, and I'd gone back to Ron Whelan's house, and a chap turned up, and I'm not sure who it was, and he turned up with his car, and he said, Ron said I can park the car out there. Chris, hey, can you move his car out? So I said, 16-year-old, I'll get in there and move it. And I was reversing out. It was on a corner on the Gold Coast Highway, and a guy had a few beers, and he's going, yeah, you're right. And I reversed out, but it was an old HKT or G Ute of Ron's. It had a big turbo, and as I reversed out, a brand new HZ Statesman Caprice came around the corner, and I opened it up virtually from the front door to the back door with the tow bar, and he wasn't very impressed. Then Ron Whelan turns up as he's discussing it with me and having a bit of a go at me, and Ron just
Wasn't just discussing it, he was giving you a bit of a serve, wasn't he?
He's giving me a big serve, and Ron Whelan sort of walked up in the Ron Whelan way and just said, mate, who are you? He said, I'm such and such, and this is my car, this fucking... Oh, sorry. This guy's just done this, and he goes, well, I'd suggest that you shut the F up. Do you drink? And the guy went, yeah. He said, well, I'm Ron Whelan. He said, this is my house, that's my car. Okay, he has hit your car. Shut up. Go and have a beer. He said, I'll fix the car for you, and he'll pay for it, which I'm going, yeah, will I? But I did, and Ron kept it a secret from my dad for a little while. I paid him back, and yeah, he got me out of a predicament, but and he got me into quite a few predicaments too, but I won't talk about them. But no, he's been a dear old mate, and I'm going to miss him dearly, but that's what the yellow ribbon's in there for, his yellow Chev, and he's like my older brother, and like seeing his family and all that, it's been great. I'm going to miss him.
Mate, that's cool, and there's a lot of those stories happening today, I bet. Yeah. So back to the car itself, though. What's under the bonnet? And
it's a 1953 FX Holden, which is still a 4815. This is the last model. Dad built this in the 70s with Ron Whelan and Ray Sparks and a few people. He raced it, sold it, and then he found it as a wreck in the late 90s, got it back on the road, and then he passed away in 06. I bought it off Mum, and I've rebuilt it. A chap by the name of Mickey Atherwood, who's a legend in his own time, he rebuilt the engine, so it's still the old grey motor, which is the old 138. It's got the homemade manifold, which my dad made. He made that, in those days you couldn't buy a twin Weber manifold for a grey motor, but the motor's sort of built to its limit now, but it's still the original block, gearbox and everything, and front, rear end and everything that Dad raced in the 70s. Interior's the same. I've just virtually restored it in memory of my dad and Ronnie and everybody, and I keep driving it. I've raced at a few different events in memory of Dad and all his mates, and having a ball, keeping the dream alive.
So this was raced at Surface Paradise Qld way back in the day?
Yeah, back in the 70s, yep. 70s and the late, he stopped racing it in the early 80s when he sold it. Yep, as it is now, as you see it, that's how he raced it. There's still the same 13-inch wheels, 14-inch wheels on the back, and interior still all the same. So it's sort of stayed period correct to the time. I've just upgraded the wiring and built the motor to have fun.
Mate, that is a brilliant story, and thank you so much for telling that story today.
No, thank you. Gonna miss my buddy.
This is Victor Bray's first drag car, I believe, and just goes to show how many people Ron knew and touched the hearts of. So I think he's inside there in the cool. So just tell us, we got the poker run happening here for the Rebels Car Club. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Mate, and what's the day like? They've gone for a bit of a cruise?
Yeah, they started off down at BP Stapleton there, and a few various checkpoints up around Mount Tamarine and stuff like that, and I believe it's around a 100k run or something like that.
Yeah, right. And you're raising money today for fundraising?
Starlight Foundation, yep. Just giving it back to the kids,
Just another brilliant thing the car community does.
Yeah, for sure.
Great work. Thanks, Rebels. G'day, Eddie. We're just having a look at your Bedford truck here, mate. This is a bit of an old rigger, mate. What's the go here?
Yeah, mate. It's an old Bedford, 1948. Done a bit of work to it, cut it down, and just for something different to be on the road. So yeah,
mate. What motor are we running in here?
It's actually a little 302 out of an XR8, and we got an XR8 as a parts car and used the diff and the steering and the motor out of it, and yeah, just changed it up a little bit.
Whacked a carby on top and good to go, eh?
Yeah, mate, C10 behind us, so we could get the steering in, because with the C10 C4s and that's normally on the driver's side, the starter motor. With the XR8s, it's on the left-hand side, so that's why we went with that. So and then we just made a bell housing to suit, and yeah.
Okay, and you said originally these came out with a big 6-cylinder in them.
Yeah.
And also the history of this. It's got a bit of history. There's a bit of old sign writing still on there.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
Yeah, used to cart Champion tractors down in Orange. That's where I picked it up from.
Right.
Yeah, had a 6 metre deck on the back for carting them. So yeah, we just cut it down and made it into a ute.
Mate, and how long have you had it?
Bought it in September 2018. So yeah, we only just sort of got it on the road.
And still a work in progress for you. A few more things
mate,
to do.
Yeah, a few more little things to do. Yeah.
Mate, appreciate you telling us about it, and mate, enjoy the day.
Same with you. Thanks very much, mate. Cheers.
Ray, we see this 66 Beetle, mate, getting around to all the shows. It's, mate, a bit of bling going on here, isn't there?
Oh, I like me chrome. Chrome gets you home, they say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 1770 with a 120 cam in it. Just a single port, so I don't have to tune it and all the time. But yeah, no, she runs sweet. I've raced it down at Morgan Park out at Warwick.
Right.
Does 12:32 on the 1/8.
Mate, that's pretty good, because
So she's pretty quick for a little 4-cylinder.
they're not a heavy car either, are
It's
they?
only 800 kilos. Like I could show you at the front, like just turning the wheels by hand. You know, it is so light.
Right, and mate, how long have you had it?
10 years. I brought it as a wreck 10 years ago. Spent 5 years restoring it. I worked on it daily, and yeah, just done it on a budget. $9,000 finished on the road registered, and then I spent another $4,000 on this motor. But yeah, I've done everything myself. I got Subaru seats inside it, which I got free off the side of the road. Carpet, like that was $10 from the carpet shop. $30 for all the hood lighting material, $200 for the door panels, $10 for the steering wheel and boss. So it was a budget build, you know. I'd done it on a dime.
Mate, it's amazing that you have.
That's why it took 5 years, because I just only could put a little bit of money into it here and there. Like I got the checkers under all the guards, like, you know, like detail to it. But yeah, we take it out every weekend. It's changed our life. We didn't do anything before, and now we go to a car show every weekend, somewhere from New South Wales to Rockhampton. You know, we don't care. We cruise. We drive it everywhere. We get asked, "Did you trailer that here?" We just laugh at them and say, "It's a drivable car. We drive it everywhere." You know.
Mate, that's what it's all about. That's great.
What it is, yeah.
And it's good to hear that. Like it's changed your life.
It
you know, as well.
literally has changed our life, mate.
Yeah,
Literally.
that's a very cool story. And mate, you've always had a passion for cars, though.
Passion started with V-dubs when I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
My sister's boyfriend had one, and I brought a wreck off him and built that up, and as soon as I got my licence, into it. Then I had beach buggies, combis. Then I gave the V-dubs up for many years and done the Holdens, EHs and EJs and Tiranas and things like that. But yeah, no, just back to the Volkswagens, what I know best.
Mate, that's brilliant, and I appreciate you coming on and having a bit of a chat and telling us about it.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, mate. Have a great day.
You too, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
So what's your thoughts, mate, of the day?
What a wonderful turnout was for him, in memoriam for him. So, so many people just shows, just goes to show how many people that he's touched the hearts of.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool to get Chris's story.
Yeah.
How good was that? And you could see, how heartfelt that story was.
Yeah, definitely. And how hot was it today?
Mate, it was a
About
killer.
as hot as an LS runs, right?
What? Well, LS doesn't run hot. Hey, it's running cool now. We just changed the thermostat. Nugget Garage did that the other day, didn't you? You were there.
I was there to see the bill.
It was like running at like 85 degrees on the way here. That's not hot.
Hot enough.
Not as hot as today. But, mate, it was a sweaty, hot day. Glad you were the one lugging the camera around all day, and I just had to, handle this mic. All right, let's go have, as Al would say, a few lemon squashes.
Let's do it. All right. Well, we got to sign off first. We got to tell them to subscribe. We got to tell them to like the video. Smash the subscribe button if you
They're going to do that anyway, aren't they?
Oh, surely you'd think so.
They would have already done it.
Make sure you hit like if you like.
Have you already done it?
There's a fair few of us who hit like before you even watch. So
yeah,
kudos to you guys.
Get on it. Get on the website. You want a shirt? There's some shirts in there. Jump on there. You want a sticker? Jump on the website. What's the website address?
Overtakinglane.com.au. Jump on the Facebook, Instagram. Check it all out. Follow us everywhere.
Get on it.
See you in the next one.
Yeah, stay in that right lane. I don't know what she's saying.
Not going right to the end.
Hang on, we're going to wait for Ian to get out of the shot. Hey, Ian. Come on, mate. Smile for the camera. Smile. You're right, mate. You're right.
You'll have to cut that.
We're going to put it in there now. Did you know there's an actual law in America, in one of the states, that says on a Sunday you're not allowed to have an ice cream in your back pocket? That's actually a law.
What's up, Overtakers? How we going?
Hey, how are we doing? How are we?
Very good.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm very good.
Very
I just
good.
finished my study. I
Yeah,
graduated.
Great news.
Mhm.
Some great news. Congratulations are in order. So assignments are done.
Everything's done.
So a little bit of pressure off. So now
Yeah.
you'll do all the editing?
Probably. Probably cost it over. It'll just push the pile.
So
The pile of memory cards.
yeah, that's about right. But no, well done. That's great to hear that you've finished and passed. So
Yeah.
a little bit of stress while waiting for your marks in the last week.
Yeah. Well, we got told we were going to get them last week and they never came. So we had one day until we officially finished. So it was like, if I've got to do any resubmits, I'm screwed.
And I think next week we're going to be we're going to cut it really fine. So next week we've got your graduation on Thursday night live night.
Yeah.
And
they
then
didn't think of that, did they?
you think they would accommodate us, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
How rude of them. But we'll have to be ready to go.
Yeah.
Come straight from graduation and jump in on camera. Hopefully we're not late. See how we go. But yeah, well done. Congratulations.
No, thank you.
Let's say some hellos to
We've
our
got,
notification squad that are here already.
Mafia Boys World. He may or may not be around. He's cooking his mum some dinner. We got Yana, yeah. How you going? Welcome. Sally, Lynn, Stephen Jackson. G'day. And Zig.
G'day,
How
Zig.
you going?
How are you, mate? How are you? I've got to pop out my little chat window here so I can see what's going on.
And Paige is in the chat as well.
Excellent. Let's hope we can get through without too many technical issues this week.
I'm on the right internet this week.
That'll help. So far
we're doing well. We'll give a shout out. We have been lucky enough to be sponsored on our live show by an amazing company that does a heck of a lot in car builds.
Yes.
That's probably the biggest performance shop outside of Melbourne. One of the biggest ones in the country. They're doing multiple builds all the time. Always at least 50 builds happening.
Yeah.
Different stages, something on the go in there all the time. So and
you
even
don't
on
know what
TV.
it is, Superformance.
Superformance. That's right. I should put the slide up. That would even make it easier, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's
There.
everywhere.
there we go. There's a slide. It's pretty hard not to know who we're sponsored by, is it? So for the live show, great guys. A few congrats coming through by the looks as well. Everyone
Thank you,
wishing you congratulations on getting done.
Charles Gallia's in the chat. Hi guys, hope you've had a great week. Certainly have.
So now diploma of what do you got?
Software development.
Diploma in software development. There you go.
I got a full-time job lined up next year, so
Perfect. How good's that? Well done. Well, give us a like, give us a thumbs up as well in there. That's great for everyone to give us a bit of a thumbs up and get the feed happening. We'll get a few more people in here. Hopefully, we've got 20 people watching now. Hopefully, we get a few more. Share it out there for us. Make sure you tell people about Overtaking Live as we continue to try and grow. We had a great video this week come out.
Certainly
I
did.
edited that one. It was a good edit, wasn't it?
It was.
But it was sort of a sad one, but also look, I guess it's also about celebrating the life of as well, more than anything.
Yeah,
And,
memories left behind. And
and Ron Whelan had done a lot for the car community. He was involved in, was even involved in Summernats as well. So Summernats and drag racing and just everything Australian car scene involved for years and years and years. So right back before we were born. So exceptional man and very well loved within the car community, and it was a great turnout. And it was a good day, and I think we got some good stories.
Yeah.
I think that little story from Chris Haig about the car his dad built with alongside Ron Whelan helped him and lived over the road. It was a great little story. So which did play at the start of the show. If you were tuned in early, you would have seen it there as well.
And we've got a couple more people in the chat as well. Rob Hill, how you going?
G'day, Rob. He's in the middle of building a 32 Ford, I
go.
believe. So got it all happening at the moment.
Glenn Dicker is in the chat as well. Evening, how you
G'day,
going?
Glenn. How are you?
Zig said a couple of weeks off and I needed it. There you go.
Yeah.
Good to get a break sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Zig's just put the last video of the club sport build, the cam swap in the LS1 Clubby. So I know that one just come up on his video, and then you've been doing a bit with your hot rod as well. So changing some seals and some fuel rails, just deteriorated over time. Some good stuff over on Zig's channel as always.
Got a couple more. Scott Sherrington's in the chat. Hi everyone.
Thanks, Scott.
I thought that I was going to miss out tonight, but I got a night off. There you go. 2 in a row.
Good,
or
good.
2 weeks in a row, that is.
Yeah, mate. I hope you're going all right with battling the fires down there for us. So they're still just raging, like they're pretty crazy at the moment.
Yeah.
So
And Lynn said congratulations as well. Thank you. Grant's in the chat as well. Thanks for the plug, guys. Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
as always, big supporters of the show. We love what they do up there at Superformance. We still haven't been over there and shot some videos, so we've got to go and I want to shoot some of the videos on some of the products that they've got up there. Some of the stuff that they do in-house that you can't get anywhere else, not to that standard and not to that quality. You've got to see what they do.
Because should certainly be able to now that I'm finished my studies. So.
Sounds like a plan. All right. Well, let's...
We'll
jump
get
in,
a couple
got
more quickly. Jamie said a tour of the Superformance facility would be great. Natalie's in the chat as well. Natalie,
G'day, how you going?
Thank you for tuning in. Shane Fitzgerald, good evening. How
G'day,
you
Shane.
going? Johnny Skidpig. Trevor Smith as well. G'day. Grant said he had a busy week finishing an XY Ute, 68 Camarillo and a 64 Impala.
Oh, a lot going on. A lot of finishing this week. That's a big week. And XY is probably my favourite Ford.
There you go.
I think. I definitely would like an XY sedan as well. That's as much of a Holden man
Tom's
as I
one.
am. Well, that's very nice. But no, just GT replica would be nice, but they're so expensive now, right? So I saw one the other day, very nice replica, but it was $125,000 for a replica. So yeah, the price just climbing, something crazy. But yeah, no, definitely want to get up there and do some more footage from Superformance.
And Zig said no leaks so far for him. And
That's the
cheers for the
seals,
shout-out.
yeah. Good
And
channel.
Natalie said we would be happy to do a tour of the Superformance facility. If anyone is interested, give us a ring. And I'll post that in the chat and it pops up their number there.
There you go. And we'll definitely be bringing you some footage of that so you can see what goes on and how much is happening out there and some of the great products. And
You've already switched over to the first
I've jumped into
story.
the first story. Look, I've done a bit of a teaser there,
Mhm.
so everyone knows what's the next story. It's electric vehicles. That's unusual for us to talk electric vehicles.
I don't think we've
I
ever
thought we'd-
talked. I don't think we've ever talked electric.
I thought we'd
vehicles.
start with electric vehicles, get them out of the way. But I've actually, I'll have to remember it. I can't remember the channel. I started watching a channel on YouTube and actually doing some quite interesting stuff with some old school vehicles, but electric. So doing some electric conversions in combi vans and some really cool stuff. And yeah, watching them do burnouts, that was pretty cool actually. See them smoking it up. And let's start
Well, I
off.
think there's some people been talking about Ken Block's next Hooney truck being the Tesla Cybertruck.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, there
there's
you go.
people doing up concepts of it and stuff. So.
Well, it'd be interesting
could
to
look
see
like.
what he can drive it, how he can drive it.
Mm.
So that's an impressive driver. Talking about driving, we'll be out doing a track day
Mhm.
this weekend.
Some laps.
Yeah, so
Mayhem.
morning mayhem. So if you want to get on it, I think there's actually like 2 tickets left,
There you
and
go.
they were going on sale tonight and around now. May already be gone, but get on the High Octane Motorsport and Photography. There was 2 tickets left. You could get them. I think that was at the normal rate at $60, like the early bird rate, for Sunday laps. So there is some posts. Just got some posts coming up on High Octane at the moment, so you may have already missed out. But if you want to come out, there is tickets on the day, but they're like $90 on the day. So and there'll be only limited runs on the day as well. So it's a very popular event this weekend. It sold out very early. So
Yeah, last one of the year. So.
yeah, definitely. So we'll be out there. We kick off on track at 5:30 a.m.
Mhm.
So out there, the Utes service, new oil filter,
New windscreen.
new windscreen today, and
The crack's finally gone.
yeah, and fix the air conditioning.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
exciting.
regas the aircon. We've got aircon, need it.
Certainly do.
So we'll take the Ute out and do some laps in that on
It's going
Sunday.
to be like 40 degrees in Ipswich on Saturdays. I don't know what it's like on Sundays. So.
We'll be early, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's
And then we're late in it. We'll be out at Willowbank on Saturday night as well.
Mm.
Test and tune, doing shooting some secret squirrel footage out there for another upcoming video with some other people.
Yep.
So, all right, let's jump into this electric Iveco story. You got no other shout outs before we do?
2 more. Mad Kiwis in the chat. Bang that like button, petrol heads.
Good, do it.
And Leeches, who's Will, he said slick headset DJ Tyzix.
He loves it.
I do.
All right, he feels at home with the headset on. It's like gaming at home.
Tells me when I'm breathing too heavily. So.
You can hear yourself. All good. All right, electric Iveco. So I thought I'd throw this story in there. As I said, we always end up with some electric stories because it is current car news that we talk about every week.
Yeah.
And we've got an electric truck this week.
So
So
a bit different, and I reckon it's going to be on sale by 2021.
yeah, and this is actually very popular.
Mm.
I should actually open a story. It'll make my life easier.
It is very popular.
Yeah, so
They've only just announced their partnership 3 months ago with Iveco, which is Nikola.
Nikola Motors
Mm-hmm.
are going to work with Iveco to bring out this first electric truck. Yep.
Yeah. And they're saying that it's going to have a range of up to 966 kilometres. And they're releasing this one 2021, and they're saying that it's already sold out and will be sold out for many years.
That's amazing.
That they've sold more in, like, they've had more interest in people wanting to buy one than what their production can meet.
And
for
then
a year. So they're going to be sold out for a couple of years, and probably just even further then. Right.
now I also believe that apart from this, they're also going to, not in 2021, not as soon as this one, but they're also going to bring out a hydrogen fuel cell truck as well. So I'm not sure what year. Actually, no, it does tell you 2023. They reckon they'll have that out. So 2 alternative fuel vehicles, possibly bringing all our goods and around the country to us. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I thought, looks alright. Looks like a normal truck. It's not like not like the Tesla Cybertruck.
Yeah.
They haven't gone for a.
I did see something today. They reckon they can fit in 6x8s in the back or something like that.
Oh,
I
right.
can't remember what it was exactly, but yeah, something that was a 6x8. They can fit it in the tray in the back.
In the super truck.
In the Cybertruck, yeah.
Cybertruck, yeah. Now this looks pretty cool. I think this thing looks cool. Looks like a normal truck. And it'll be interesting to see, well, I guess if it actually ends up looking like that when they bring it out, but yeah, we'll see how it goes and if it does have the range that they say. But on electric vehicles, we got some more electric stories. Any comments on the truck before I flick over?
Oh, we do have a couple. Flick up. Jamie said driverless bus trial happening now on Karagara Island in conjunction with Redlands Council.
Yeah, so
3.5 kilometre loop with 8 stops. There you go.
Now I wonder if that's anything to do with MTOQ's vehicle.
Possibly.
That'd be,
I know that
that'd be next week's video.
Yeah.
Next week, check out that one because we were out at MTAQ and we saw some stuff that they're doing on driverless autonomous vehicles and flying vehicles.
Yeah.
That they're working on out there. So that may just be in Tuesday's video.
We've got Murphy Boy said he'd rather another Hyundai story than the electric Iveco.
Come on, you love your Hyundai
Might
stories.
be biased. Johnny said Hoonigan did a tour of the factory in the States that do conversions. There you go.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to check in.
Mad Kiwi just called in to say g'day and boohoo as an early start. No worries. Thanks for dropping in the telling everyone to like for us.
Make sure you've done that. Do your thumbs up before you go, mate. He would.
Probably hit it before he jumped into the chat.
Straight onto it.
Said yuck, I not long gave up trucking. Can't even buy a manual truck anymore. Banging gears is half the job.
True. Now it'll be all electric too.
Johnny Skidpig said the Iveco would be great in the CBD areas for deliveries and garbo runs.
Yeah, I guess it would. But interesting, if they can get 900k range, it's not too bad. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes.
We've got said go Freightliners. Mad Kiwi said auto is the best thing to happen to trucks.
Right.
Ben McRae said they already have electric garbage trucks on trial in Brisbane.
Oh, do they?
There you go.
There you go.
I know that they have those little electric ones that get around in Cavill Mall. It's just like that little one, and they go and clean the bins and whatnot.
We might have to do some Googling on that and check that out.
Mafia Boys said at least you can smell them since you can't hear them.
The garbage trucks, yes.
And Johnny said there's a company in Melbourne that's doing conversions in light, medium and heavy rigid trucks. There you go.
Interesting. Well, there you go. And I've jumped under the next story because talking electric cars, there was a news story this week that electric car sparked a fire at Robina Shopping Centre. So it was in the local Gold Coast news. Geez, I don't know what page that was. Gold Coast Bulletin, something like that. That there was Robina Shopping Centre.
I've got to correct you though.
What?
It wasn't an electric car.
What do you mean?
It was a fault with the electric car charger.
In the car?
It sparked the fire. No.
The charging station.
Yeah.
There you go.
It could have been a lot worse.
There you go. Because, the original story I read said electric car sparks big blaze in Robina car park. That was the headline. So, but you think it's actually just the car charger. But did it burn the cars? Don't know.
One vehicle, I think.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, one vehicle was damaged, but the firefighters were there and they were able to contain the blaze quickly before it spread to other nearby vehicles.
I've certainly heard stories of electric vehicles catching on fire, so it is something that is definitely possible.
Yeah.
And that was a local story close to home as well. see, talking Hyundai, that was mentioned by Mafia Boys before, they've just released all their electric vehicle line too.
There you go.
New ads coming up all the time in that forum at the moment, so we should go test drive one.
Yeah. Got a couple comments. Danny Smith Media, a guy in Tassie converted a Subaru Brumby. Cost $20,000. It's a daily driver.
That's a lot to spend on a Brumby.
It is a bit. Mad Kiwi said electric DAF 45 7.5 ton delivery in the UK since 2011. There you go.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Nate's Chop Shop, how you going?
G'day, mate.
G'day.
How are you?
Ben McRae said you guys like talking about EVs a lot, more like overchanging lane. Or maybe means overcharging lane.
Overcharging.
Johnny
We could do a
Skidpig,
story on that.
I saw a display of the electric trucks at the Brisbane Truck Show earlier this year.
I just figure that the more people that end up with electric vehicles, the longer I'll have fuel supply for my petrol vehicles. Does it work that way?
I guess so, yeah.
So, I guess the thing is, though, right, and it leads into, is it our next story that I'm leading into?
I think so.
I hope so, because I'm going to lead into it.
Another comment as well. Mad Kiwi said, when are the you sending the 40 kegs of 4X, Dave?
Yeah, you're rubbishing our good old Queensland beer, mate. I don't know. He's not a fan of the 4X.
Oh, there you go.
So, the old Milton Mangoes. Actually, I do have another photo before I jump to the next story.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got a picture of from the news story.
Mm-hmm.
I got a picture of where the fire truck, the electric fire, was there. So the fire truck had to get there, and I did capture this one. There's the. Is it?
What do you reckon?
You don't think so?
No.
Looks like an electric fire vehicle. No, not that type of electric fire vehicle.
No.
Sorry, dad jokes. Doesn't humour you. I thought it was funny. So, talking about electric vehicles, I think this is our last electric spin before we jump into some other stuff. But how much does it cost to charge a Tesla? Now, this was a really interesting read that I saw some information on, because a lot of people are thinking, oh, I want an electric vehicle, I won't have to pay for petrol.
Yeah.
It's free to charge. I just plug it in and charge up every night, no worries at all.
It still costs you power.
Yeah, there's still a cost involved, right? And I was actually surprised at how much that cost is. So, let me actually go to my little info sheet here. So to charge a Tesla, because you got... Well, actually, now, there's a couple of options. There was also, if you bought a Tesla in the first run, they actually gave you like a special option, and it was free charging forever.
It wasn't just a special option. That was what you got.
That was what you got. It was like Tesla.
If you bought it
buy a Tesla, free forever to charge.
If you bought it before January 15th, 2017.
Because at that point, they realised how much it was going to cost them to charge these vehicles. And then they brought in that, no more free charging. Yeah. But if you bought it before that, you've still got that for life, right?
And it goes with the car too. So not only do you have it, but if you sell the car, the next person who buys the car off of you gets
that
the free
car
charging
always
as well.
has it.
Yeah.
Now, that is to do with their supercharge stations. Because you go to their supercharge stations and you plug into the supercharge station for a Tesla, and it charges your car in, 30 minutes or something?
To 80%, yeah.
30 minutes and 80%, yeah. So, so you do get free at those, and there is some numbers on here. There is actually a few of them around Australia. I don't know.
There's 40 superchargers, and then there's things called destination chargers, which there's 500 of them. But they're quite slow.
Yeah. Now a destination charger is basically any business can have a destination charger in that business, which attracts people to come to your business. So Sally at the cafe could put a destination charger in there, which means that a Tesla driver go, oh yeah, there's a charger here. I'll go there to have my coffee and put my car on charge while I'm there for free. So it is free charging for them at those areas, but it is a slow charger. I think it takes to do a full charge is 7-8 hours or something.
I have no idea, but you do get 40 but anywhere between 40 and 90 kilometers range per hour.
Per hour, okay. So yeah, it's probably about a 4-hour charge then. But if you were going to have a coffee, you get a free charge. So it is free in that sense.
Yeah.
But if you are charging at a charge station, or if you're charging even at home, there's a cost involved, and it works out at about $20 to $30 for every tank of charge, a tank of electricity. So it's actually quite a bit, right? I was surprised that it is that much. Now there is some things like you've got your free charge stations, you've got solar power. If you've got solar at home, that would obviously be free if you're charging at the right point of the day and it's you're pushing in enough power to cover what's coming out. But yeah, it's quite expensive. Well, I guess not compared to that, but it's you've got to work out too what your electricity cost is at home, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting, but they've definitely raised the money at superchargers and how much they cost, because they did realise that it's costing them a bit to put that power out there.
Yeah.
And that's likely to increase again over time, right? As the popularity grows, they could increase prices just like they do with fuel. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was I just thought it was an interesting little story to think about the actual cost of charging an electric car, because a lot of people think they just automatically think I'm not filling up, so it's going to cost me nothing.
Yeah.
But it is going to cost you.
Yeah, it's going to cost you $100,000 to get one first.
Right, that's right. And then you're saving, half the price of a tank of fuel?
Yeah.
So,
well, depending on what car you have too. Tank of fuel in the Mirage costs me $30.
And if you're
some weeks.
So, if you're doing it for the cost saving, it's going to take you a fair while to see that benefit.
Yeah.
And then,
unless you were going to order the next car in the next story, it's around the same price.
Wow. But then there's also a lot of, before we get to that, there's also a lot of people that will do it for the environmental benefit.
Yeah.
Right? But
we also talked about that, and it's not really.
You need to drive the car to at least 120,000 Ks before you see any environmental benefit as well.
Yeah, and then by then you're replacing the batteries.
Correct, which then negates that, because you've got the cost of mining that lithium, making that battery again, all comes into it. So, like the environmental cost. So yeah,
we've got a fair few more comments. Mad Kiwi says he put it in the still, make 90%.
The Forex.
Mafia Boys said about your dad joke. He said Tyler's thinking, "Okay, boomer." I don't know whether you've been seeing that all over Facebook at the moment.
No, I've missed it. Oh, you'll have to send a few to me. Hassle me with it now.
Yeah, said 4X. I'm Queenslander, and even I know that stuff is shit.
Oh,
Great Northern all the way. Johnny Skidpig says he'd prefer Bundaberg Rum.
Captain.
Mad Kiwi said, seen that electric recovery vehicle, diesel van towing a petrol generator to charge it?
Yes, I have seen that. Yeah.
Mafia Boys World, he said, I like my beer like I like my women. Pure blonde. Johnny said he gets sick from drinking beer, so that's why he has.
At least it's pure blonde and not stout. Who gets sick from drinking beer?
Johnny Skidpig.
No beer for him.
Just the Bundy.
Any others?
Scott Sherrington said he never imagined that it was going to be cheap with our power prices, but that's steep. You're not going to be charging during the day, but maybe an off-peak charger could work.
Yeah.
Marf says LPG sounds better than the EV. You had LPG for a while on your V8, and the stinky LPG.
Oh, look, I didn't smell it, worry me. I didn't find it much cheaper either. Like, it was 80-something cents a litre. Back in the day, it certainly was, but it was 80-something cents a litre, and you use a lot more as well, like, compared to petrol. So it's probably equivalent to E85 in a sense that you use like 30% more. I don't know what the actual calculation of the LPG is, but I seemed to be filling up a lot on LPG. It didn't have a massive tank. But when I did fill up, it was only, I guess it was actually cheaper than the electric price. It was about $28. Sometimes maybe if I run it down a bit more, it was about $34. So it was cheap to fill up, but I seemed to be filling it up every time I went somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I get more range out of the E85.
There you go. Marf said he'd rather have it blow up and become a bomb than have it blow up and have lithium burns.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Said he has 3 go-tos. Northerns, homebrew rum, and when he's feeling fancy, Jack Daniels.
Oh, I can't get past my captain.
Shane Fitzgerald is the same as Johnny. He said beer plays with his gut for days after. Doesn't mind rum, whiskey, or a nice single malt though. Mad Kiwi said LPG makes GM engines last longer.
Well, true. All right, next story.
Let's do it.
Go to the next one. Out of EV, no more EV.
Everyone's favourite sports car, the new Supra.
Obviously must be everyone's favourite sports car because
it keeps selling out.
They do now,
and in record time.
Now I wrote the heading of second chance. I probably should have said fourth chance, right? Because it's actually about the fourth chance that we've had to buy them.
Yeah,
I think
the first 100, which was all Toyota in Australia was able to secure.
Yeah,
they sold all of them in just 7 minutes. Then they were able to secure
the first 100 in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It's mad.
They were able to secure another 50 cars, which then only lasted another 15 minutes. So all 150 cars were reserved in a total of 22 minutes.
Wow.
And then they had a second batch. This time was another 100 cars. That sold out in 28 minutes. And then the final batch offered in September sold out again in record pace.
That's amazing, isn't it? They sell that quick. Now, what that means is that the market's been flooded with people selling low kilometre Supras
for more than what they costed.
Yeah.
So at the moment, you can pick up an entry level GT trim, which is valued at $93,730 drive away, or you can get the GDS trim level, which ups the price to $104,379. You get the same motor, same power.
Turbocharged 3 litre 6 cylinder.
Yep. Just some upgrades on the interior and whatnot. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually looked in. I think we did a story on it a while back, and I just don't remember what the difference was.
8-speed auto, 250 kilowatts?
Yeah.
Yep.
500 newton meters of torque. But people are selling these low kilometer GDSs, which is the $100,000 one.
Yep.
They're selling them north of $130,000.
So you can buy it new for 100 or second hand for 130 with low Ks. But we can't buy it new.
Yeah.
But you may be able to soon.
Mm-hmm. And if you are interested in buying one, don't just go out and jump on car sales and buy the first one you see. Do a bit of detective work because you may be able to hunt down an ex-demo vehicle for a reasonable price.
If you're really keen on one, then
or even just
flick
wait
us
for
a
the new
message
ones.
and we'll maybe talk to Patchy and see whether he can get a hold of one.
Yeah.
Of the demo models.
They might even have one in there.
They could. So, so that's a good point though. Yeah, you could possibly pick up a demo model for a heck of a lot cheaper than what they're selling those second handies for.
Yeah.
Or you wait, what are they bringing in? Another 300.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. And that's
north of 300 cars next year.
So more than 300. But they're saying it's going to be bigger than 2019 allocation, but they do believe that they will sell out just as fast as they have previously. So it's actually quite a surprising demand on them. So,
and I don't mind the look. I know a lot of people hate it, but in saying that, I think I would, if I had to choose between the two, I think I'd just have to go with the old school.
Well, Grant was at SEMA. Grant went to SEMA. How many were at SEMA, Grant? How many Supras did you spot at SEMA?
Oh, that was a lot. I saw internet stories about it. And
it was something like 60 Supras in the hall or in the various halls at SEMA. In all different shapes, manners and builds and whatever they'd done with them. They don't look too bad with a few kits and stuff on them though. Some of the photos I've seen with a bit of work done on them. Stock form, I don't think they do a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
So, but I found the best picture of one. It's not too bad, that one. So
we've got a couple more comments. When LPG was 50 cents a litre, it was good. Now I reckon it's barely worth it, said Scott.
Yeah.
Marv said we turned this into Alcoholic Lane.
Yes.
Zig said LPG was worth it when the government gave out the subsidy in the 90s.
Someone said to me the other day that they like have a bit of a laugh every time though, because I've been drinking cans.
Mhm.
I can hear the can open in the background. Hear the they have a bit of a laugh, and I think they were counting how many I was having. Just soda water.
Mad Kiwi replied to Marv saying that you started it on Facebook.
Yes, I did. It was not on Overtaking Lane page.
Said just buy a Z4, no weight. There's no weight on the Z4.
Oh, there you go.
Mafia Boys said already proven that the Z4 is a detuned Supra. Mad Kiwi said wait till the right-hand drive Corvette arrives.
Yeah, it's going to be big bucks though.
Mm.
But, yeah, we'll see.
Dan Jazz says finally a Toyota that's not boring. Good on them. Let's hope that some of the other Japanese manufacturers follow suit and bring out some non-boring cars. Like Mitsubishi. Hopefully.
Bring out the Evo 11.
Maybe not the Evo 11. Maybe if they start up an epic new car, I'd be alright with a mad hybrid. Scott said after the same car, barring the body and tune. Grant said sorry, was not looking for Supras, but they were there.
I would imagine you weren't there to check them out at all.
Zig said just wait for the recall notices.
Well, yes.
And it says flash a tune takes 15 minutes
On
for the Z4.
Yeah.
And Danny Smith Media said, hey, what about the cars that ran on vegetable oil?
Well, actually, Monte Carlo mods. Did you see them this week?
I haven't seen that one this week.
I haven't seen their new buy. They bought a Mercedes. I was going to send it to Mal, out to Malcolm, who's got the dad's 67, because he's got a Mercedes, bit nicer Mercedes though, and and one with LS power. But yeah, your microphone problems there, man?
No, I just accidentally unplugged the headphone. I had no sound.
What was I saying? So yeah, he Monte Carlos, they bought one that ran on biodiesel.
There you go.
Yeah, so turbo diesel Mercedes, made some fuel, bought it for $3,000, and then I believe sold it back to him for $2,700 the next day. So they basically just gave him $300 to drive it for a day.
Marv said that Mercedes was a laugh and a half.
Yeah. All right. Next story. So if you got a few more dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
just a couple more.
And you're not buying a Supra,
Mm-hmm.
but you got a couple of bucks in the bank, and you're thinking of, something a bit sporty,
And something a bit rare.
then maybe
The 2020 Bugatti Chiron Noir.
there you go.
Maybe that piques your
Doesn't look
interest.
too bad. Looks pretty nice. I'll give you that.
It's only going to be 20 of them built.
Right. So, and these are going pretty cheap. Is that?
Yeah, fairly cheap.
What's the price on these things? Tell me.
You need to.
You know a bit more about this one.
You need to lay down $4.87 million.
Right, as a deposit? No, that's the total.
That is your deposit. You got to pay the full price, as far as I'm aware, for these sorts of cars.
Yeah, okay. There's
no
no deposit.
There's no $100, and it's a security deposit.
Yeah, I'm all good for it. So that's the price. What is it?
87 million dollars.
Australian? Is that?
Yeah.
Or,
3 million euros.
wow, that's impressive. Now, why?
And that's with no options fitted. That's the base Chiron Noir, and that's also excluding taxes and government charges.
Imagine the luxury tax on that. Oh my gosh. Safe to say, it's probably none coming to Australia thanks to luxury tax. But now, what do you get for $4.7 million?
Okay, so with this, you get the exposed black carbon fibre with the redesigned grille, solid silver Bugatti emblem.
I probably want a bit more yet.
Well, the window line's finished in polished matte aluminium.
Yeah,
while the
I'm
remaining
still wanting a bit more.
The remaining exterior trim bits are trimmed in carbon fibre or polished aluminium.
Polished aluminum.
Oh.
Yeah. Aluminum. Aluminium and where I'm from. But So polished recycled Coke cans
Mhm.
for 4.7 million.
In case you forget what you're driving, Noir is etched into the door sills and outside edge of the center console. It's
I
also
just forgot why my bank's $4.7 million lighter.
It's also sewn into the headrests. The central armrest houses a carbon plaque, highlighting the car's unique nature.
For $4.7 million, they're probably going to have to sew it into my forehead.
Then there's also the Sportive, which is the other one that you can get. There's Elegance. That's the Elegance. Then there's this. I think that's the Elegance. Is that right? Yep. Elegance and Sportive. The Sportive blends the same exposed carbon fiber
Is it
body.
dearer?
No, same. I have no idea. Same price, I think.
Okay.
Same carbon fiber body finish with matte black trim highlights. The wheels, front splitter, and grille are all blacked out in keeping with the Noir theme, and it's the same story behind the wheel. Regardless of which model you opt for, power comes from the same 8-litre W16 engine as the regular Chiron lineup, making the same 1,103 kilowatts and 1,600 newton meters of torque.
Now we're talking why it's worth $4 million, but
Mhm.
I'm guessing there's probably a few cars out there that can do it for less than $4 million. But yeah,
Yeah.
but a Bugatti.
But you can also option it out if you want.
because I
you
haven't
can
spent enough money.
You can get the Chiron Sport in Noir trim, but the slightly lighter, more track-focused model comes at a significant cost, as in $162,000.
It's probably nothing really. I've
Mm.
just spent 4.7.
But then again, yeah, as you just said, that's a drop in the ocean compared to the starting price, which is also significant, as $4.87 million.
Yeah, all right. Get your checkbooks ready. Get your key cards out because that is about to drop in the second quarter of 2020.
Hmm.
Put your $4.8 million deposit down now, plus luxury tax.
Yeah.
Well, we got any comments on that one?
We do have a few comments. Charles said, that looks awesome as. Yes says, do you guys watch Daily Driven Exotics, Strad, and the rest of those sort of channels? I've watched like one or two of their videos, but I don't regularly watch them. Mafia said he put the video in the Discord showing how the Z4 is a detuned Supra.
Okay.
Check that one out.
We'll check that out. Yeah.
Shane said hefty price tag on any Bugatti.
Yeah.
Pistol 85 said it's no AU 4K, but I guess it would be okay. And how you going? Welcome. Zig said good one, Scott. Marty Boys said 4.7 million equals live the Charlie Sheen diet for a decade. Hookers and Coca-Cola. Scott Sherrington said 4 waterfront houses on the Goldie, Dave. That's what you get for 4.7 mil.
I'd rather the 4 waterfront houses.
Trevor Smith said luxury car tax, $1.1 million.
Holy dooly, there you go. Yeah, that was amazing. Now, when I said it would be a lot, I didn't expect it to be that much.
Mm.
Wow, talk about stinger. Then the government are hoping someone buys one. My gosh, 1.1 tax. Plus
Shane Fitzgerald
the
said,
import duties.
Need a lot of room to try and getting to the 400 kilometres an hour.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. There'd be too many places you would be able to do that because it's pulling up as well. Is the other issue. Getting to 400 and then stopping again.
So Johnny. Dan Joe says, I'm sure it's a amazing car, but you would have to use special type of bell end to own one. Can't do matte finish either.
That's it is impressive, but it's an impressive price ticket. I think that's what's impressive on that for me, the price ticket. All right, while we're talking big price tickets, another just an interesting story with probably just some
fun facts,
random trivia, random fun facts for you.
If you're going to enter the quiz, these might be in next week.
Might be next week's.
Something maybe from this next week. So.
And don't forget that quiz. If you want to get in a quiz after tonight's show, jump in Discord. There'll be a new one come up with an opportunity to pop your name down to join the quiz for next week. We'll draw it on there.
Or the week after.
There's a couple of competitions at the moment. So you obviously got the quiz. You can jump in and put your name in for that. And on Facebook, you can drop a picture of your car the most likes on those pictures of your cars between now and Saturday, and I know many of you already dropped a picture on there.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, 10 o'clock, we'll have a look. Whoever's got the most likes, we'll send them out a sticker.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you want to be on the website,
Mm.
also email us a picture as well.
Mm.
Because the Facebook ones, if I download them off there, they look pretty crappy.
Yeah, low resolution. Facebook downscales any photo that you upload onto there.
So email us a pic if you want it up on the website.
Mm-hmm. Mad Kiwi says he's off now. Have a great show. Battery went flat.
All right,
No
mate.
worries. Have a great
See
night.
you, brother.
Trevor Smith said great car for the M1.
Yeah.
And, says you all know deep down you want one.
Oh, if I could afford one, I'd love to have one. It means I could afford lots of other things too. If I could afford
I'd
one
love
of
to
those.
get the Koenigsegg Agera
I
R
probably
instead.
wouldn't mind one of these though.
This would be cool to rock up to a car showing.
A Ferrari F40.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 things that you didn't know about the F40.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you know it was an anniversary celebration?
Well,
Kick us off.
That's the first thing, right?
Mm-hmm. It got its name because it was to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Ferrari from 1947 to 1987.
I did not know. I do now.
Yeah.
So,
while some automakers produce commemorative models which feature some distinct cosmetic tweaks, the Ferrari F40 was a performance powerhouse.
yeah, it really stepped it up.
Hmm.
All right. Number two.
We've got a couple more comments in here. Rat Fink's in. Good morning. How you going?
G'day, Rat Fink.
It doesn't have Facebook. Damn. Benson Drongo Hedges said
Flick us a picture on the email.
info at overtakinglane.com.au.
And we'll stick it up on the website for you.
Benson Drongo Hedges said, Oi.
Oi. Oi, brother. How are
Marv
you?
said F40, first production car to hit 200 mile an hour. There you go.
There's another fact. I wonder if we'll have that one.
Chris Young said, morning, boys and girls. How you going?
G'day.
Benson said, if I had the money, I'd just pay to make a Ford drive like a Lambo.
Don't they do a four-wheel drive now, Lamborghini? They come out with one like
he's
Porsche?
making a Ford drive like a Lambo.
Ford drive like a Lambo. I thought you said a four-wheel drive Lamborghini.
Yeah, they do make
No,
a
I
four-wheel
thought-
drive Lamborghini, but yeah.
You want to spend $4 million on a four-wheel drive Lamborghini?
Ben McRae
No.
says he
not what it was.
guarantees he does know all of these facts. The F40 has always been and will always be the ultimate car for him personally.
There you go. There you go. See if we can come up with one you don't know.
And,
But he probably already knows them all.
and Marf's already listened to the facts, so we better hurry up.
So you need to be a master contortionist.
Mhm.
That's something about an F40. They found getting in and out of the F40 seats actually take a fair amount of twisting and contorting. More than a few people hit their shoulders, hips and other sensitive areas. Hard on the components before they master the surprisingly difficult task of getting into an F40. 3.
Original pricing. From the factory, the person would pay $250,000 for a brand new F40. That was a steep price for the time, but prices quickly ballooned to almost $1 million as speculators bought and sold F40s at the end of the 1980s.
There you go. Number 4, door handles.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have any.
Oh, there you go.
That's what this is. It does not have them. Of course, it's a beautiful car, but it doesn't have the most fancy interior, and they stripped a lot of stuff away in the interest of simplicity, and one of those things was the door handles. To open the doors on the driver or the passenger pull a cable running diagonally in the hollow of the door, popping it open, and on the exterior there's a recessed latch that opens the door.
There you go.
Right, fact 5.
Porsche rivalry. The initial purpose of the Ferrari F40 was for it to go head-to-head against the Porsche 959 in FIA Group B. Since Group B racing abruptly stopped in 1987, Ferrari did the only sensible thing, released the F40 for road-going fun.
The body design. It was Pininfarina which designed the F40, giving it flowing lines, which many have admired and tried to imitate. Perhaps the most distinct thing about the car, other than the tail rear wing, is the clear plastic engine cover. Did you know that one? I knew it had a clear plastic engine cover.
I did. We've got top speed mayhem. While we have multiple street legal cars which break the 200 mile per hour top speed barrier today, in 1987 there was only one.
Someone
Which is
already
already
dropped
mentioned,
that.
yeah.
Someone already dropped that one.
It was the first street legal car which could push past 200 mile an hour, making it a true standout on the market.
Composite construction, number 8.
Mhm.
So these days composites are used to make body panels for all kinds of cars, but in the 80s it wasn't all that common at all. And the Ferrari F40 was a pioneer, using body panels made of carbon and Kevlar, while the frame was tubular steel, carbon and Kevlar. It was the first production car to use composite body panels.
There you go. Carpeting, number 9.
The carpet, right.
The notoriously stripped down interior of the F40 didn't come with any carpeting on the floor as a means to cut down on weight. However, though, the dash is topped with carpeting, something that most people never realised.
There you go. Top secret, number 10. Development of the Ferrari F40 was shrouded in more secrecy than any other Ferraris at the time, with many company executives not seeing the car until it was officially unveiled. They claimed only Enzo's closest associates were involved in the development process. Once revealed on July the 21st, 1987, the dramatic styling shocked and awed those in attendance, and the car still fascinates many today.
There you go. We've got a fair few comments to go through.
Did anyone know all of them, or have got any other
Got
fun
a lot
facts?
of facts.
Here we go.
Marf said F40 has the same motor as the 288 GTO, which was supposed to be in the WRC Group B Championship, but the ban occurred. There you go.
That's about when you were talking.
Dan Jazz said he would prefer the F50. If I'm dreaming, might as well get La Ferrari. Ferrari La Ferrari. Scott Sherrington said he's still a Countach guy. The Cannonball run cemented that for him. That and a Starion that turns into a submarine.
Oh, yeah. The old Testarossa really is, Magnum PI. That was probably my favourite.
Ben said Lamborghini Urus is what you were referring to, four-wheel drive Lambo, but did you know that is actually Lambo's second four-wheel drive vehicle?
No, I didn't. To be honest, no.
Lynn is off. She said catch the rest of the show later as out for dinner. Just snuck out to the car. No worries. Catch you later. Have a great night. Marf said...
What's for dinner? Where you go? No.
Marf said the F40 was responsible for ending of the Cannonball run here in Australia. It caused 4 deaths.
Oh.
There you go.
I think... was he talking about the Cannonball Run, the movie? Because I certainly remember that one. You've seen the Cannonball Run movie?
No,
you would not have seen it.
The Cannonball Run is like the Gumball Rally and...
Yeah, but there's a movie as well.
I didn't know there was a movie, so no, I haven't seen it.
You wouldn't have before your time.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been watching any of these movies that we've talked about?
I have not.
You gotta
I haven't
catch
had
up.
any time.
Catch up.
Ben McRae said they also don't have winding windows. The F40's paint is so thin, in some areas you can actually see the grain of the metal because they use such a small amount of paint to save weight.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
And Marv said no carpets, first road car to do so.
Except for on the dash.
Marv said me versus Ben next week, F40 challenge.
Oh, look out.
And Ben corrected himself, he said grain of the body material.
Yeah.
Johnny Skidpig said when McLaren built the F1, they called it the F1 because they said it was 39 times better than the Ferrari F40.
Oh, that was a big call, wasn't it?
And said Marfy boy, that gives you a week to Google shit. Go now. And Marf said, with all those facts I listed, you think I need Google? Lol. G'day Troy, how you going? Welcome.
Hello.
And Ben said, look up Lamborghini LM002. Will do.
Took that.
And Dan Jazz says, I will also admit the Enzo is pretty epic also.
All right. Next story.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good story. Just to drop in there, wasn't a little bit of fun facts. Now, I should flick the slide so we all know what the next story is. But it was Holden hitting another low. They've hit another record, actually.
Yeah.
A record low.
They have.
So we talked about Holden.
And the Toyota Hilux is under attack.
Yeah, well, we talked about Holden in September sales. I think it was. September sales being the lowest in 70 years of Holden history. and it was the first time that they'd sold in less than 3,000 vehicles in a month in 70 years. And we've just gone through November, and they've sold even less.
Yeah.
They sold
2,665 cars.
Yeah.
Which is half of what it sold the same time last year.
Yeah.
And its weakest monthly result since the company established 71 years ago.
So to think that 71 years ago they were selling more than 2,665 cars a month, and now they can't even do that. So,
yeah.
But it's now the 6th record low for Holden in 11 months. So this last year has been a massive demise for Holden. The sales are just getting stripped by the Ford Ranger, the Toyota Hilux.
Yeah, well, just singular cars, right? Not even a whole brand. That's just singular cars.
They're actually beating Holden's size.
Holden's overall sales.
Mitsubishi Triton has also been going okay, I believe.
Well, they came close to beating the Hilux,
which is a big one. So, yeah, it's amazing. But where are they going to go?
I have no idea.
So, they said their Isuzu, which only has 2 models in its lineup, the MUX and the D-Max, was now not far from overtaking Holden.
For the first time ever.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, it's pretty tragic. And they're saying car sales is down in the market again. They're saying that it is right down, and they're talking on a car sale front of it basically being a recession, right?
Yeah.
So,
no one has said it yet.
No, but that's where we're headed. And then I got another picture here because the other part, there's probably like a second part to this story from the news this week about Holden, because not only did it have such crap numbers, but it meant something had to change for them, and the managing director and their chairman is on the outer, right?
Yep, Dave Butner.
He's resigned.
Vacated the chair after 16 months in the top job.
They resigned, as they generally do in those types of positions. They generally resign before they're given the arse. So it's going to be a tough job for anyone coming in.
Yeah. So Christian Aquilina will now head the iconic Australian brand.
Aquilina? So there you go. Christian Aquilina going to have a go. We'll see how he goes, but he's not going to have an easy task ahead of him. I don't know if anyone can resurrect that dying sick puppy of Holden.
Yeah.
They've just lost the faith of Australians when they exited the Australian manufacturing market, and then went away without a V8. The biggest seller that they've had was the VE, and the V8 was the most popular Commodore of all time, the VE. Yeah, so and then they've not done much with it. The VF went okay as well. Yeah, and then they've brought out this Opel thing, and there's some other stories in the news this week, and we didn't bring the pictures of that one, but there is a new Opel Insignia that they're saying is for the Australian market, but it just wasn't all that exciting. So it didn't excite me either. So I'd say, they can keep it. Sales are not going to improve with that thing either. Not much different to what we've had now. Mind you, if you actually have a look at the lineup, what a Statesman has, the current Statesman, the features and stuff that it does have, and the price ticket, it's actually not bad, but nobody's real keen on it. That market's just not there.
We've got a lot of comments we've got to catch up on.
Go.
Ben said the Cannonball Run was a run in the Northern Territory back when it was open speed limits. A Japanese pair were driving when they lost control. There you go. And Scott said, the movie with Burt Reynolds, Sammy Davis Jr.
That's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Zig, talking about the Holden story, said that's what happens when Holden doesn't sell Holdens.
Yeah.
Marv said Dave Butner, a.k.a. Big Butts, quit Holden as well.
Yeah.
John Cadogan, auto expert, gave a great video on it. Grant said would not want to be a Holden dealer now. Definitely not.
No, it's not good looking good for them at all. They'd be struggling big time. So
Dan Jazz said Holden will be gone very, very soon. I'd almost bet by this time next year.
And Ford survived it because of the Raptor and the Mustang,
Yeah.
haven't they?
Well, the Raptors are the
Not the
top,
Raptors.
well, the Ranger.
The Ranger, sorry.
Yeah.
I just thought I was going to buy a Ranger, I'd buy the Raptor. But
The
Ranger.
LDV Trail Rider.
I like
Is
the
it a
LDV.
Trail
I saw
Rider?
another one the other day. There was one down the shopping
It's so
centre down
cheap.
the road.
So cheap.
Yeah, it was one down the road. It was really nice. But I don't really want a car loan, so I probably won't get one.
Yeah.
I own my car.
Said Holden is dead. I just bought VF, the last real one as far as he's concerned. Shane said getting rid of the V8 and bringing in a front wheel drive was their biggest mistake.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Marth said he's impressed with MG right now. They went from nothing to being 5th place recently here in Australia.
There was a news story about MG this week too. I can't remember what that one was. There was another new car for MG, so maybe next week.
Stephen Jackson said he loves his 2019 Triton. There you go.
And then we said then looking at possibly outsell.
Hmm.
The,
Well, in the 4x4
Hiluxes?
market, but if you do include both 4x4 and 4x2, then no one's anywhere near the Toyota Hilux.
Okay.
Scott said Holden hit a record low when they took 240 something million from the Australian government to keep manufacturing here, then pulled the pin anyway. Australia won't forgive him.
Yeah.
Pistol said under 5 years Holden will be gone and they will all be Chevy dealers.
Well, there's probably a better market for them if they do.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people
Yeah.
wanting different Chev models.
Grant is very correct that the Camaro needs to be priced near a Mustang for GM to get any sales.
Yeah, 100% right, Grant. And I don't think it will. The talk is it's going to be well over 100 grand still.
Yeah.
The Camaro. So you can get an entry level Mustang for 50 grand. So that's the problem.
And there's plenty of good examples on the used market. So
Yeah.
plenty of good. It's a saturated used market for the Mustangs.
But anyway, another news story is because it's not just Holden that are doing it tough. Now this
I've got one more comment. Dan Jess says it's a shame in many ways. Hard-working automotive tradesmen giving it all for peanuts while the white collars run it to the ground on the big dash with no consequences.
A lot of people out of that Holden closure have still not found work today. Like there's a story in the news around that in the last couple of weeks as well, that they're still searching for work after all that time.
Yeah, and Zig said, I wonder if Holden starts selling other brands like most other dealerships do now.
Good chance that they will. So, but Nissan is the other story. Now, not Nissan Australia, but not dealerships. We're not talking Nissan dealerships here. We're talking the Nissan factory in America, right?
Yeah.
They're struggling big time over there, and they're going to close.
Yeah.
For 2 days.
On January 2nd and January 3rd.
Yeah, so not closing forever, but they are going to close for 2 days in an attempt to save some money. They're just going to...
they're shutting down all their manufacturing facilities as well as their corporate offices.
Yeah. Shut everything down for 2 days. Everyone gets 2 days off but get nothing. They do not get paid for anything for those 2 days.
Yeah. It's going to affect approximately, is it 14,500 people?
Yep.
So.
Yep, 14,500 people. And that's all hourly salary workers. Right across, as you said, the manufacturing and corporate offices. So, interesting move. But they're saying that 2 day closure will save them millions. So, but if you have to do that, it does say what is the, future for the Nissan US division. Like, how safe is it if they've got to close for 2 days just to try to save a few $1 million at the moment, right? So, it is, so...
I think it's just because they're putting so much money, effort, time into this autonomous project that they're trying to get off the ground.
Right.
So...
It's hurt them. And, but it's really just a US...
Well, it's just a big cost sink at the moment, right? Because they're not going to make anything of it. There's nothing on the market for them to make from it. So you're just sinking money into it, and the revenue and profit is like still years
and
and
their
years
sales
away.
are down 15%,
Yeah.
etc., etc. They do Infinity as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think
That brand was down 33%.
33% down in Infinity.
Mm.
So we know our mate Sean from You Drive My Supercar's got an Infinity as well. So I think he does like it. I think that's his daily.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Got a couple more comments. Let's see where we're up to. Chris Young said he wants to see Kia do some more. I think they're planning on doing a little bit more with the Stinger. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think we did a story recently. I don't
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah said, who would buy a Commodore when you look at something like the Kia Stinger GT, 7-year warranty, and Panther Mustang, or the likes?
Yeah, if you're going to buy a turbo 6-cylinder, you might as well go one of those.
Mafia Boys said, for 100k you could just buy a used 5-litre fully built and then build a Helion 1200 horsepower twin turbo kit.
There to go.
Chris Young said Nissan R390. Chris Young, asked Chris if he drives a Kia Stinger. All our highway patrol cars are now Kia. Certainly are. Kia's everywhere. Hyundai's as well.
No, there wasn't a Kia in. Did we do the Kia shot of the Kia cop car?
No, that was a Hyundai.
No, it was a Hyundai. That's right.
Not highway patrol. It's
We were
normal
talking
patrol.
to them about the Kia. Were they talking to the police about the Kia?
Mm-hmm.
They do say
They said that they wanted to be able to drive it around, but they don't get to. So.
Yeah.
Marv said he's getting tired. He slurred his words a bit in his comment. Scott said Zig, our local Holden dealer, has now become a Hyundai, Mitsubishi and Nissan dealer.
There you go.
And they still have a Holden out the front to fill up the yard. Chris said he's in the UK, different specs here. He had the 2014 Optima, but could do 155, but 1.7 diesel engine was sluggish on pull away. There you go. And Dan Jess says, can't remember the last Nissan I wanted to own, let alone a new one.
Yeah. Fair enough. Now, Mafia Boys better not be going to sleep over there. He better not get too tired. You've got the quiz coming up.
Yeah, we've got one more question. So, one more story.
We've got a few more questions in the quiz.
One more story.
One more story?
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at that story.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got two, actually. But
We have two?
yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got two.
You sure?
Yeah.
I've only got one more.
Well, you're gonna have to catch up.
Oh yeah, I do have the last one. Never mind.
So parking fines.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's some parking fines that you do not have to pay. Now I thought I would bring this story in because what it's about is there's a lot of bullying tactics out there around car park fines that are related to car parking lots, like your Wilson's parking or those secure park, those type of places, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you, for certain reasons, they're likely to put a notice on your windscreen to say that you've been fined, that you've received a penalty, and it's like a normal parking fine, right? It'll say, blah blah blah, parking, whatever you've done wrong. Didn't display ticket on the dash or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
$65 fee. Log on here to pay your fee, or by this date, or it will be, it'll go up to $90 by this date.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, most people will go, yeah, crap, and pay it, but they actually really have no
way to enforce it.
Yeah, that's right. No jurisdiction or whatever to enforce that. So they also cannot, in many states, and I know definitely not in New South Wales and definitely not in Victoria, they can't get your details at all from your registration. And to my knowledge, also in Queensland.
Oh,
could be
just
right.
got a donation. Did you hear that through the headphones?
No, I don't have my headphones on.
Yeah, said beer time, $5.
Woo!
Legend.
Another one. I'll finish this one off then.
And Marv said
Thank you, mate.
He's here. He's good.
He doesn't want to lose.
Employees of Parking Enforcement Services, PES, a division of Wilson Parking Australia, target drivers at more than 300 car parks across the country, and breach notices will be handed out for breaches such as failing to display a ticket, as you said, or though the car park provides 2 hours free parking. Care Park uses a similar model at its roughly 270 car parks around the country, and Ace Parking also uses a similar model. The vast majority of customers use the car parks we patrol correctly in accordance with the timeframes and conditions displayed at each location. Most understand that parking bays are a provided service which have maintenance costs associated with them.
That's what the PES.
In a small number of cases, however, customers who do not adhere to the conditions of the entry are issued with breach notices. Such notices are legally enforceable in Australian courts under laws relating to contract and informed consent.
Correct. Now, if you go to court, there's a good chance that it is legally enforceable. And they also say that if you want to, on that ticket, like any fine, it'll say if you want to contest that ticket, then you can apply to contest the ticket and take it to court. But once you do that, they then do have access to all your details, and so you're actually better to not contest the ticket.
You just chuck it in the bin.
Just chuck it in the bin. They can't track you down. They know your rego number, but they don't know where you live or who you are. They don't have any of that. As soon as you contest the ticket, they do get all that details, and then they can chase you for it. So now this is not council parking or any of that stuff. We're talking about like the Wilson parking or
private car parks.
Care parking.
It also says in fine print on the notice, on the PES specifically, on the back under the heading Important Information. It says, "This is not a fine. The operator is claiming the amount due as liquidated damages as a result of you breaching the parking terms. You accepted the parking terms by leaving the vehicle in the car park."
Yeah. So most people will pay it just like a normal fine. They would get that and go, "Oh crap," not be happy about it, but they would pay it. But that is their whole business model. They're aiming at people that, or the ignorance of people they'll pay up a relatively small amount to avoid the hassle of having to go and contest the fine or do whatever. Yeah. So it's like $30. Bugger it, I'll just pay the $30. I couldn't be buggered, So it is a bullying tactic. So the best advice is to ignore that. And
got another one.
We've got another donation.
Scott Sherrington said, good one. If we all throw in a $5, they'll be able to buy a few cases.
Thanks, mate. Well, I'll tell you what, last week, when did we do Sunday Sesh? The week before. We got some donations there, didn't we? And we sold some shirts.
Yeah.
And stickers. And that paid for our entry and our fuel for that weekend.
Yeah.
Like it was nearly spot on what we got. That helped us out immensely. So because it cost us $50 to put the cars in at Sunday Sesh, plus a tank of E85, and help us out this week. That'll be great. We've got a bit of fuel to use up at
the racetrack.
At the racetrack on Sunday, but it'll be not E85. That'll be 98 in the Ute.
And Chris Young said, "Time to do some work. Good evening, guys. Busy day here."
Thanks, mate. See you later. Have a great day. Over in the UK. So that's our big advice there. Do not, if you get those, just ignore it, throw it away.
Specifically in New South Wales.
Yeah, so they definitely can't. But in most states, there's no consequence if you ignore the notice, because it's impossible for the car parking company to take any action against the registered operator or driver. Firstly, because they don't know who the driver was, and secondly, they will never know who the registered operator was. So their whole ability to recover money fails until you try and contest it. Then you give them their details. So that's it. That's that story. Now, there is one more story. You know what the one more story is?
I do. It's about crotch cams.
Crotch cams. Mobile cameras. Now, mobile phone cameras. Now, it's not about the camera on your mobile phone. This is about New South Wales. Have just this week, was it?
I believe December 1st was when they did it.
Just started the
this is 10
crotch cams,
fixed and portable mobile phone detection cameras.
How many?
10.
There's only 10 at the moment. Okay.
Keep unplugging this.
Stop doing that. You'll never hear anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got the crotch cams. They're cameras overhead as you go through at the lights or whatever, looking at you
Mhm.
to see if you got your phone down there doing this with the phone, not doing anything else. But yeah, and then they'll catch you out, and send you a fine, right?
Yeah, New South Wales is the first place in the world to introduce mobile phone detection cameras, and other Australian states are poised to follow.
Definitely going to continue.
We got another bling.
I heard something.
Shane Fitzgerald donated $5 for gas money.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate
Legend.
it. Thank you. And you can come out and have a run against the anyone that's up that way, or come and watch us go around the track. I know Mal's coming out to.
Yeah, he is. He's running the A45 AMG out there.
Going to give that a run against us. We'll probably get lots of chopped.
Mm.
We'll get chopped heaps, but that's okay. There's some quick cars going out there. I saw some posts on High Octane the other day, and there's some fast stuff heading out there.
There certainly is.
But yeah, so what do you think of these mobile phone camera detection cameras? I should put the word detection in there. Mobile phone detection cameras. What's your thoughts?
I mean, anything to get people off their mobile phones, I guess.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be on it anyways. What
No,
do
you
need to
shouldn't,
use
I
it?
guess.
What do you need to use it for, really?
Yeah,
Is that important?
Nah, I can wait.
If you need to adjust your map, just pull over for a second.
Yeah.
A little inconvenience can stop you from having an accident if you're not watching for a second and someone happens to slam on the brakes.
Look, it is wrong. And I guess if you're at a set of lights, it's probably not so dangerous, but then it's very frustrating when I have someone in front of me that is on their phone and they don't take off at the lights. They're too
And that's
busy.
when it becomes
So
dangerous,
that is
because
annoying.
if someone
Yeah.
isn't watching and then someone behind them goes to take off and they haven't,
And
then you get road rage, and that becomes even more of a bigger problem. So.
And the last few weeks going down the M1, because I travel the M1 every day, and I've been heading down there and noticing people on their phones in the third lane. So right over on the right hand side, they're in their third lane doing 90 k's because he's on his phone. No, there's more than one person doing it. That's
I was
annoying.
on my way down to Surface Paradise to pick up a partner after a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And I was on the M1. It was absolutely bucketing down rain. And this guy, I'm about here, and he's probably, I don't know, probably a 30 centimetre ruler distance in front of me. And he changes lanes in front of me. No indicator, nothing. And then I went, what are you doing, mate? On the horn and flashing the lights. And then I drove around, and here he is on his phone.
Yeah. Now, I do use Bluetooth.
Yeah, I can understand using Bluetooth. That's a little bit different.
I have
this
Bluetooth,
guy's, like,
so I
driving
talk
along.
on my phone all the time for work. So I'm in the car a lot on my phone, and it's on Bluetooth though. I'm not physically on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like not touching it or anything like that. But yeah, I hope I don't touch it and get caught out on a camera.
Yeah, well, they're going to be putting them in
The
Queensland
phone
very
either.
soon. A lot of the mobile cameras actually have Queensland rego on them. So
There you go. Any comments before we jump into our crazy laws?
and we'll have a quiz section too.
Yeah, and then we've got quiz. So we've got is it guys ready for the quiz?
They are,
They're in the waiting room.
I believe. I think Steve's already been sitting in there for a while, and Marth's in there as well.
All right. Well, they're in there. If we're ready to go for the quiz, let's go the quiz, and we'll come back to crazy laws.
Sounds good.
So
We've got a couple of comments quickly. Downey Smith Media says the same in Tassie. Mafia Boys said New South Wales is the native state. I'm assuming maybe the same in Tassie is to do with the parking.
yeah.
Yeah said Queensland as of February 2020, it's $1,000 for any mobile phone offence.
Yes, it is, and we actually reported on that one of our first episodes, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we started our crazy road rules.
Sal said that Mel wants to race mum.
Yes.
And Mel said, I think you will chop me 4 verse 8.
Maybe. I think. Hopefully I could chop your mail. It'll be one for the day because I've seen some of the other stuff going out there, and there's some quick cars.
Zig said, I think you'll find it's any handheld device. And probably like food and things like that as well. They're probably going to nick you for.
It says you can use an UHF, and that's correct. because I know car club that I'm in have talked about getting, saying we should get UHF because you can still use that. Because I suggested an app on your